Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Philip Nichols, and welcome to my condensed biography of the horror motion picture genre. Since cinema's inception, people have desired to experience a sense of fear and dread. From the outside looking in, to look at the results of mutilation and even death. Yet, to be separated from the fictional consequences and the hypothetical aftermath of such events.
How many times have you heard a woman say, "Oh, I went to see the movie and had a good cry"?
That's
They
true.
do, you see. Now, what is a good cry? She never says, "I went there and had a bad cry." Otherwise, she wouldn't have paid the money to go in the first place. So these people have paid money to be scared.
The Devil's Mansion is widely regarded as the first horror film. With its early special effects, the 3-minute motion picture was able to captivate the interest of an audience and to spark the creation of a new genre. Following up on The Devil's Mansion, society of the 1920s and 1930s was far less secular than the contemporary society of 2023. With this being stated, individuals were much more likely to belong to a large religious group, whether that group be Christian, Jewish, Islamic, or other. Cinema of the 1920s and 30s had themes centered on or related to religious customs and, of course, the afterlife. Films like Nosferatu, 1922, Dracula, 1931, and Frankenstein, 1931, reflected the hopes and fears embedded within a group's set of religious beliefs. With America's slow transition from a culture rooted in religion to a culture that emphasized the significance of the individual, cinema, particularly the horror genre, utilized the concept of individuality. Films such as Psycho, 1960, and Night of the Living Dead, 1968, placed the individual in the center of danger. In Psycho, a young woman is in the path of a murderer. In Night of the Living Dead, an individual is surrounded by the undead. Both of these films seem to suggest that those who seek solitude also seek. By the time the 1970s arrive, individuality in the horror genre has been further defined by how individuality relates to the teenager. A film like Carrie, 1976, and film franchises such as Friday the 13th and A Nightmare on Elm Street solidify the teenager as the quintessential or go-to protagonist of horror films, and these films are still made with a young person at the center of the conflict. Even a found footage film such as The Blair Witch Project, which could have taken a completely different approach, chose to make its most essential characters young. In this case, post-secondary students working on a film project. Lastly, Scream 6 of the Scream franchise was able to deliver a fresh take on the horror genre, cash in at the box office, and at the same time keep many of its characters within their adolescent years. Again, before I became a ghost, my name was Philip Nichols, and I hope everyone enjoyed my condensed bio of the horror genre. Stay scared.